Hey all, Ryan here from Planetary Lapidary, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Rocks, where I cut through rocks and fossils I find on the western shore of Lake Michigan, see what spills out. This week, actually, I am cutting rocks not from the western shore of Lake Michigan. I'm cutting them from my fish camp in Tipler, Wisconsin. It's up by the Michigan border. It's kind of some random stuff that I pick up there all the time, but I do find different stuff than I do, on the lake shore, like more banded iron, like those last two. But I have these 7. This one's kind of just a quartzite, maybe plumy, something or other. It's kind of hard to tell in there, but we're going to just cut right through the middle of that thing, see what's in there. This one's kind of like a quartzite one again. These are all kind of similar, very quartzite, quartzy, jaspery. But we're going to go right down the middle of that guy too. This one's kind of a black and white. I'm not sure 100% what this one is, but that's a really cool face right there. So what I want to do is try to just get down, try to keep this face flat and try to get a slab that way. This one, again, quartzite. It's got a lot of inclusions, a lot of different stuff going on. I think what I'm going to do is prospect for slabs, maybe the long way, maybe cut a slice off this way on this one, see what's in there. Another one, same thing. This one's a little more jaspery though, that little bit more red jasper in there in that red color. Not sure what the rest of it is, so I'm going to prospect for slabs again on this one. Probably, yeah, maybe the long way again, this way, see what's in there. Then we got 2 pieces of, maybe banded iron formation. This one could just be all jasper, but it's got a lot of layers in it all the way through. So again, I'm going to do the slab thing again. I'm not sure which way. Yeah, probably long way again, right down here. And then last one, same thing. Very, very red. A lot of inclusions, a lot of different colors, a lot of irony looking stuff or like hematite looking stuff on it. So I'm going to go the long way on this one too. So we're going to use the high-tech 10-inch slab saw, a little like a medium sintered blade. And then again, if you guys use high-tech tools and you want 10% off your accessories, that includes, discs and blades and everything else, just not machines. You can type in Planetary in all capital letters when you check out, and you'll get 10% off. And I'll also leave a link for them down in the description. And also, if you want to check out some of the other stuff I make, I'll leave a link to my Etsy store in the description. So, all right, so let's get this thing set up and we'll get cutting. Okay, so through that first one, had a chunk pop off. I was barely even pressing on it too, so it must have just been a fracture there, but this was just that weird one with some pluminess. Let's see what's in there. And we maybe got some patterning going on right there. Hard to tell though, a lot of stuff going on. Kind of cool though with the white and the yellow kind of stayed in there. That usually doesn't happen, usually it's just staining. But yeah, I think that should turn out pretty decent. Light will come through a little bit. Worried about that fracture. That's probably right where it was right there too. But not bad, I would say. A nice little quartzite piece with some maybe limonite stained something in there. Really cool, 1 for 1. On to number 2. Okay, so through number 2, this was another kind of quartzite one. Ooh, this one's definitely got a little more patterning in it. Got a bunch of different colors. Kind of brushiated maybe. Kind of hard to see with the white blade marks in there, but really cool. Again, I think just like I don't know, it's really hard to tell what this stuff is. Like quartzite, or does light come through this one at all? Not really, just a tiny little bit on the edges. So I'm thinking quartzite on this one for sure. Maybe just a lot of different staining in there. brushied it up a little bit. Really cool though, that yellow and red contrast is really cool. All right, on to the next one. Alright, it's a little gritty on the end of that one too. I kind of figured that. So I just got this end off. Hopefully there's some patterning in there. Oh, look at that. That is really cool. Oh, maybe some pyrite in there. Nope, just some like orange mudstone, I think. But really, really cool patterning. Look at that black and white. And this will be a nice thick piece that I can get something out of. I know the pattern goes all the way through. And this one too, I might be able to get maybe a slab off of. That's really weird how that's such orange stained, iron stained in there. Really cool. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so this one was much softer, so I'm thinking this one is closer to like a sandstone morph in between sandstone and quartzite, but I'm not sure. I got a face off so I could maybe get some more slabs later. Ooh, it's just a cool breccia actually. Totally solid. That stuff will shine up really cool though, and then the lines in between the breccia pieces. Yeah, that looks really cool with that dark. And then all the little pieces of white. So I'll definitely get at least 1 or 2 more slabs off of here. Not right today, but that'll one will turn out really good, I think. You know, it's a really big piece breccia, I think. Like bigger than normal, that I would normally see. But all right, on to the next. Okay, so through that one, so I decided to go the short way on this one, and I did have a little bit of crumbly stuff again, but let's see if any of this red comes through. Ooh, look at that. That is really cool. I don't know if that's some sort of conglomerate or... That red definitely is in there though, and then you got some white. So that one I'll definitely get some slabs off of too, for sure, because that just is a really cool pattern in there. Not 100% sure what it is. Could be some jasper. You know, that red really does look like jasper in something else, like in a conglomerate of something else, but really cool. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so through that first one that I think could just be jasper, you can kind of see all the layers on there all the way through. So let's see. I got some white stuff from the saw on there. You can definitely see all the layers. You know, I don't know if that's just layered jasper or if that's maybe some hematite in there. It's kind of hard to tell when they're so small like this. It could also be stromatolite in jasper. I don't know, it's really hard to tell. There's definitely bands, you know, the whole thing is filled with layers and bands in there all the way through. I just can't tell what it actually is. Really cool either way. I'm gonna have to see if it shines up too either way and see if those lines stay in there, but all right, I would say 6 for 6 so far. Let's get on to that last one. Okay, so as you saw, I did have that nub chip off. I figured that would happen. This stuff looks pretty gritty. It's very red and just very different again, so I'm not sure what to expect. Oh, look at that. What in the world is that? It's like very red. I wish the saw marks weren't on there so much so you could actually see it better. But there is a lot going on in there, so I'll definitely get slabs out of this one as well, as many as I can, and then polish this piece up. It's really cool, whatever it is. It looks like a brushiated jasper again. Really, really cool. They all turned out really good from Fall Fish Camp 2025. So, all right, if you like this video, leave a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for some close-ups at the end, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.